Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to another episode of Empire Secrets. I'm your host, Mariana Henninger, founder of Brandmagnetic.com. And this is the podcast where, if you are a coach or course creator, an online business owner, you can hear all about ninja marketing tips that nobody else is talking about. Not just tips, like strategies, like deep stuff, needle moving stuff. And I am so excited to come to you. I have not done, talking fast, have not done an Empire Diaries in a couple of weeks. We've had Pat Flynn on the show. We had Ravi Rajani last week, which was so fun. Loved the conversation I had with him. And I am not only on several different podcasts today being interviewed, but I have a couple of episodes that I'm recording today. And so I'm in the recording mode. I'm wearing a nice shirt. My lighting looks okay. I know it could do better, but I just figured this is the time I want to come back, update you on what's been going on with me. Always the Empire Diaries are my favorite episodes to record because they are the behind the scenes, no bars hold. What was that expression? I don't even know. Look at my business and what I've been thinking about, what I'm seeing in the marketplace, the conversations I've been having, and frankly, how many beach trips I've taken this summer, which that was the first thing that this host noticed once I came on camera. She's like, oh my gosh, you're tan, Mariana. And I have to admit, I have been getting as much beach slash in the water time that I can possibly get. I live in New York and it's already fall over here. And it's funny because in my group of friends, the gals that I mention a lot, it's my Voxer group of business besties. One of the girls, Lauren, weeks ago, she talked about how the summer was ending or something. She was something like, we're almost at the end of summer. And when she said that, it like totally triggered me because I hate that summers are so short in New York. It's definitely a step up from living in Paris, where it was gray and cold very, very quickly and for most of the year. So when I came to New York, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so sunny. I love it. And the summers are so much longer and the winters are sunny. And yet now I've gotten used to it. So the summers feel really short again. And this year feels particularly short. So when she said that the summer was almost over, I was like, oh my gosh, don't say that. It's such a trigger phrase for me. But I have caught myself saying it now because it feels like fall in New York. It totally does. I have started watching Gilmore Girls again, and I feel like in no time I'm going to be in leather boots, picking apples, and snuggling under a warm blanket by my fireplace from Netflix. With that said, summer has been amazing. I took such a great time to really take a pause from my business, give myself white space. I saw something actually, I need to add this to the things that I want to share. I saw something on Instagram the other day about how the billionaires of the world always give themselves white space, meaning it's space where they are not consuming anything, they're not talking to anybody, they're just noodling on their business. And my friend Carlin and I, because she's also in the Gals Voxer group, she's also been going through a similar thing. And so every time I would share something about this like deep thought thing that I'm doing with my business right now, really reimagining my business, she's like, oh my gosh, Mariana, this is so similar to what I'm thinking. And anyway, so I'm excited because I have such an awesome path ahead of me. And it feels amazing, not only because it's super aligned with what I want to do, but I have the roadmap. So when you know where you want to go and you know how to get there, there's nothing stopping me but daily trips to the beach that I can't help but take while I still can. And so, with that said, I have not worked as much as I could have over the summer, but I feel so great, so refreshed, so energized. I don't want to feel guilty about my pace over the summer. I do feel like there are days when I could have worked more and I worked less, but I'm embracing that. It's all meant to be. So, with that said, I am now on a path to building my evergreen funnel, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first, I want to talk about my speech on stage at the Commitment Summit in Cancun. It was so much fun. I had been preparing for that speech for months, really just understanding what exactly I wanted to cover, what was the flow, and I had practiced speaking, right? I've done a ton of talks. So I had no nerves getting up on that stage whatsoever. And I know that I could have done really well even without practicing, but I wanted to make it great, right? I knew that at that level that I was good, was really solid, but I wanted to make it amazing. And if I'm being super honest, I'm not sure that I'm like blow it out of the park amazing yet. I am getting there, but it was great. So much so that the organizers of the event came to me afterwards. They were like, we knew you were going to do good, but I'm very impressed, she said. So I will take that any day of the week. I'm very excited about that presentation and how well I did. Fun story. I knew I wanted to come from that event with great photos of me on stage. And I know the photographer was amazing, but I didn't see her when I was up there on stage. And I knew she was taking photos, but I'm like, I need excellent photos here. Like, I need blow it out of the park, amazing photos, because I'm building a speaker page. And so what I did was I spoke to the event organizer first, obviously. And then I kind of approached this photographer, as a former photographer myself, before I switched to video, I was doing photos. And was chatting with her and about her gear and about the event and all of that. And I asked her, because I knew this was going to be a favor, if she would be willing to take some photos of me on stage after the fact. So I found the best time, which would be in the morning before people arrived in the event hall. And I put on my suit again. I dressed up again the following day, and we played around. We took photos from all sorts of different angles. I had some inspirational photos for her to look at, and I think that really helped her see my vision, and she blew it out. I have such amazing photos. I have probably like 3 photos that I absolutely love. I only wish I had brought a second jacket with me, like on stage, so I could quickly change into a different jacket. But I'm wearing the same thing in all 3 photos, but whatever. And the way that she did it, you can't tell that there was nobody in the audience when I was speaking. So obviously it would have been really fun to have a photo with the audience there, but you can't really tell in the photos. And one lesson I did learn is that I should have had this conversation before I went on stage. I should have told her, like, hey, listen, I'm trying to get these photos that kind of look like these, that like have this vibe. And I think she would have totally come behind me on stage to take one of the photos that I wanted, but wasn't able to get, because by the time I was up there, there's nobody left in the audience. So anyway, that was a fun little anecdote of how I got some great photos from stage and made some amazing connections. So part of what I'm doing right now is, a tiny part of what I'm doing is taking all the names of everyone that I met at this conference and another conference that I went to not too long ago in New York. I just quickly write down right after the conference, and after each day, I just write down the names of everyone that I met and everyone that I remembered connecting with, whether they were speakers and I met them, in person, or whether they were just speakers and I didn't have a chance to connect with them. Everybody's names goes on a sheet of paper in my notebook, and I make sure to follow up with every single one of them. And also, this part I haven't done yet, but I need to put them into my Airtable so that I can stay in touch with them, follow up with them, in a few weeks, and give them something of value, reconnect with them, just stay top of mind, because I think that is the real ROI of these in-person events. So one of the things that happened, and I think I talked about this in the latest Empire Diaries, is that I went to a high-level event and I won the iPad. So if you've ever been to a high-level event, you know that they always raffle an iPad. And, usually the rooms are really big. There's like, a couple hundred people or at least 100 people in a room. And the chances of you winning are very slim. But I went to this gathering. I had no idea that they were going to raffle an iPad at the bar. And it was just me and like 25 other people, 30 other people, and I freaking won the iPad. So I was very excited about that. Love winning swag, especially when it's such high-end swag. And now I have a brand new iPad. And then I wanted to share 2 more things that are top of mind for me right now. One is this book that Dan Kennedy came out with. So I actually got an email this morning from Dan Kennedy, not a personal email, just from his newsletter, where he talks about how the rich buy. Like, so selling to the affluent, how do you market to really high earners? As you guys know, I have my high-end done for you brand video signature offer, which is very white glove, very high end, and we do it all for you, soup to nuts. And then I have my brand video system, which is my program where I teach you everything I do with my clients, and you can do it yourself with your phone with the help of my bots. And that's the system that I am currently working on putting on Evergreen, by the way, which is a whole other conversation I'll get to in a second. But I want to learn. I know that if I sell to even like if I sell to a really pivotal player in the high end space, I know that I have it made because those people will tell their people. And I don't really frequent circles. Like I don't go golfing with multimillionaires. And I feel like this is an art form, but it is a world that I want to get into. It's a world where I feel like I can add a lot of value. And the brand video system is definitely a system that my program is meant to be a volume play. It's meant to reach as many people as possible, not because people are numbers in my world. They're absolutely not. Each one is an individual that I care about, but because I know that I want to make this system accessible to every single business owner out there. When I'm working one-on-one with you, I can only do that for a limited amount of people, obviously. And my team is limited too. I don't want to build a big team where I'm removed from the actual creative. And so I have to charge a lot of money for this because it is also a lot of work. The done for you space is a ton of work. And so I know that if I reach the right people, I don't have to market anymore, right? If I just sell one person, the right person, and maybe I'll take a couple of them, but I know that the word will spread. And so I just bought his new book because the email just like totally sold me. Things like they buy for validation because they see themselves as smarter, faster, ahead of the curve. When you present something that confirms the self-image, they lean in. It's not about features, it's about confirming who they believe they are. They buy competitively. They buy to avoid worry. They want to trust you so much that they can blindly sign where the sticky note is. Why? Because peace of mind is worth more to them than the price. Like this is exactly what I sell and how I sell. So it speaks to me so deeply. And so I bought this book in an instant. I cannot wait. It's actually the 4th edition. It's apparently been around for a while, but it's the 4th edition of the book. And I just bought it and it's going to come to my house. I think it's not on Amazon Prime, so I think it's going to take a couple days. But I cannot wait to devour his new book, which is called The No BS Marketing to the Affluent Guide, maybe? Let me see. Hold on. What is the actual title of this book? Here we go. No BS Marketing to the Affluent. No holds barred. Oh, that's the expression I needed. No prisoners. Take no prisoners. Guide to Getting Really Rich. Which, kind of a catchy title, but truth be told, I want to understand how to market to this demographic and get visible with them specifically. So one thing that I really latched onto in this email is that they don't fill out surveys. They don't want to be sold to. They want to feel right about buying. And that's exactly what I do, not just in how I sell, but in our brand videos, right? Like in a way, my high ticket clients are buying from high ticket or are selling to high ticket buyers most of the time. And so I want to understand the art of infusing that into your brand video as well. That's how a brand video works, right? You're not filling out a survey. You're just based on feeling right about buying. With that said, the last thing I wanted to share is a very practical thing that has happened in my life. It came from Jenna Kutcher. So thank you, Jenna. And it is a new app on my phone that has literally changed my life. I had been struggling a little bit with how much time I was spending scrolling. Now, I don't consider myself like a heavy scroller, but I would get so upset every time this did happen, which was I wanted to check something or I would like mindlessly click on either Instagram or Facebook. And without realizing it, an hour had gone by, whether I was in bed in the morning before I got up or whether it was at night before I fell asleep or whether I was in the kitchen grabbing something and I decided to click on one of those apps. I hated how much time was going by while I was scrolling without realizing how much time was going by. And I was like, well, I don't want to delete these apps from my phone because I do want to post on stories here and there. And I do want to have access to them. And when she shared about this app, like I could not download it fast enough. So the app is called ClearSpace. And I'm actually going to double check that's the name of the app, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of the app. And what it does is it basically locks your here we go, ClearSpace. It basically locks whatever apps you want locked, so that in order to unlock them, so when you install the app and decide which apps you want to sort of restrain, you want to decide how many access times, or like how many times you can access each of those apps in a given day, and how long your total time per day would be. And so what I've decided, just I think I had like 6 times I would access, and for a max of 60 minutes. I just wanted to give myself a ton of time that I could use them, and just kind of see whether it helped me use them less. Not only that, but when you click on first of all, they're grayed out now. So they're on your phone, but they're grayed out, which I love. They're so less attractive when they're grayed out. But okay, so they're grayed out. You click on them. So let's say I want to access Instagram. I click on the app. And what it does is, instead of opening in the app, it opens up ClearSpace, and ClearSpace, or actually gives you a notification or something. And you have to click on the notification that takes you to ClearSpace app. And, or I'm sorry, I'm butchering this, but basically what you have to do is you have to breathe in and breathe out before the app unlocks. Like it literally, does one of those bubbles that grows when you breathe in and like deflates when you breathe out. So you take a deep breath. So you pause, and then you have to select how long you want to stay on the app. So it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. Those are the options I have. And I don't know if I can tweak those options, but it basically forces you to determine how long you're going to be on the app. I love that, because as you're scrolling, so let's say I give myself 5 minutes on the app. As I'm scrolling, as I'm getting caught up with people, and I'm actually doing this fast now. I find myself like going through things really fast, or being mindful of like how long I'm spending on a specific post. And when you have 1 minute left, it gives you that warning. You like a little banner, notification, and it says you have 1 minute left in your session. Oh, the other thing that it does is, like, when you are about to open it or deciding what time, it tells you how many uses you have had that day. So like I love the phrasing too. It says this would be your first use of the day, which I love it, because it's not assuming that you're going to do it, right? You still have the option to not access the app and to just like give up. And so once you do access it, it says like 1 out of 6, right? Or 2. And I don't think I've gotten to more than 3 out of 6. My use has decreased dramatically since installing this free app. I think the way it works is, if you only pick 2 apps that you want under lockdown, it's free. And then you might have to pay to add more. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm not giving away my entire life using this free app, but it is so freaking good. I am just blown away. So ClearSpace, if you are wanting to reduce your time scrolling through specific apps, I highly recommend it. Thank you again, Jenna Kutcher, for the rec. With that said, my friends, oh yeah, there's one other thing that I wanted to share. So as I mentioned before, I'm working on my evergreen funnel for the brand video system. I am following a really amazing program. So if you need a recommendation for how to build a freaking awesome evergreen funnel, reach out to me and I will give you my rec. Full disclosure, I'm an affiliate for this program and I love sending people her way. So I am following her program step by step and loving it. And the other thing that comes up when we think about evergreen funnels is, and this came up in the podcast that I was just on, with a very awesome business coach who has a really robust program. And she asked me, she was like, do people even buy DIY courses anymore? Like, I feel like those are dead. And she has a membership, right? And I told her, I was like, listen, Deb. So it was Deb Boulanger from Life After Corporate. I told her, listen, Deb, I know people say that all the time, and I believe it too. However, in the last few months, the only thing I've consumed are DIY courses. That is the only thing that I've done. And it made me stop and think like, oh my gosh, people keep saying courses are dead. And yet here I am. It's the only thing I'm consuming. And I'm so excited about going through these courses. There are 2 courses right now that I'm going through, and so, sort of simultaneously. One, I'm really going through it. The other one is just helping me write my webinar, which I'm so freaking excited about. But anyway, so I told her, I was like, it made me stop and think. So why am I going through these programs that are completely DIY, but loving it? And I realized that if they are speaking to my specific need right now, and if they are taught by really amazing people, like if the content is really, really good, dude, these are really valuable. I am not kidding. Like there's actually a live component to both of these programs that I'm not even in. Really, I'm not active in it right now. I am just consuming and implementing. And I 100% believe that I have battle tested the brand video system so many times. I have run through so many Q&As. I have answered so many questions. I have created bots that help you every step of the way, that you really have to not want to do it after you buy this. Like, you really have to invest and then be like, I actually really don't want to do this, and not, you have to be stupid basically to not prioritize doing it. Because I mean, that's the thing I say all the time, is that the only flaw of the brand video is that it doesn't work until you complete it and actually put it out there. So you have to really not want to do it in order to not complete it. So with that said, I am so excited about creating my evergreen funnel. I am so excited about running ads, bringing new people into my world, making sure that their perspective is shifted. That is the biggest thing. I want to shift people's perspective across the board, that it doesn't require 6 to 12 months of posting consistently, of burning out. You don't have a marketing team that's doing your content for you, my friend. Oh my gosh. Like, that is the surefire way to burn out, is having to post every single day. In fact, I met a couple people at this conference that are posting 10 times a day on Facebook. Like, what the what? That is a full-time job. So I don't believe you need to do that in order to gain trust. Like, I've seen it over and over and over again. What you need to do is be able to stand out and connect with people immediately as soon as they meet you. And the way to do that is with our brand trust video. So if you are curious to learn more and haven't connected with us yet, follow me on Instagram at Brandmagnetic. Say hello. Tell me about your business. I would love to hear from you. And then the second way is that you can grab our cheat sheet. Go to brandmagnetic.com/cheat sheet, and I walk you through exactly how to get started on telling your unique story, your brand story, in a way that will connect with your future audiences immediately and get them to trust you and see you as the undeniable go-to in your niche. My friends, happy end of summer, officially. I hope you are doing so well in your business. I cannot wait to hear how you're doing. Connect with me on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Send me a message. I always reply. I always love hearing from you. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I will see you on the next episode of Empire Secrets. Bye for now.